Hello everyone, I am so happy to see you again. Well, the October weather has suddenly turned quite cold here, so today I want to share with you a soul-warming menu for an October dinner party. I am serving a comforting French leek soup for the first course, elegant and economical braised cube steaks for the main course, a simple apple salad for the third course palate cleanser, and a ravishing pumpkin bunt cake for the grand finale. Since all of these dishes can be prepared ahead of time, you can relax and enjoy a cocktail when your dinner guests arrive. Let me put on my apron and we can get cracking in the kitchen. We are going to start with the pumpkin bunt cake. Now, this cake is highly perfumed and it has a delightfully moist crumb. The first thing you need to do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius, and then take a standard bunt pan and you want to butter and flour it, or even easier, spray it with baking spray. Baking spray contains flour. We are going to start with the dry ingredients, and I'm going to mix them in a medium bowl. To the bowl, add 3 cups or 375 grams all-purpose flour, 2½ teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a ½ teaspoon of salt. Whisk the ingredients to combine them. Set this aside for a moment. For the wet ingredients, start with 1 cup or 226 grams of room temperature butter, salted or unsalted, and just put that in the bowl of a stand mixer. And if you don't have a stand mixer, you can always use any large bowl and handheld electric beaters. To the butter, add 2 cups or 400 grams of dark brown sugar. Cream the butter and sugar together at medium speed until smooth. One at a time, beat in 2 large room temperature eggs. Then beat in 15 ounces or 425 grams of pure pumpkin puree and a ½ cup or 123 grams of full-fat sour cream and 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. I'm going to scrape down the bowl very well, just to make sure nothing is clinging to the walls of the bowl. At low speed, beat in the flour mixture a little at a time. You want to beat only until the flour disappears into the batter. Now scoop the batter into the prepared bunt pan. The great thing about this dessert is that you can make it 1 or even 2 days ahead of time. I'm going to pop this into the preheated oven for 55 to 60 minutes or until a skewer inserted in the cake comes out clean. I will clean up my workstation and then we can get started on the first course soup. On to the first course soup. It's a leek and potato soup, and I have made this soup for you in the past, but it really is the best soup for an autumn dinner party. And the first thing we need are the leeks. So follow me up to the kitchen garden. From the kitchen garden, I am digging up 5 large leeks. Of course, you can always find leeks right at the local supermarket. The leek soup also requires 2 medium potatoes. These are my homegrown potatoes. All right, my leeks are cleaned up, so now I simply have to roughly chop them. I have been growing leeks since I was about 14 years old. My best friend's French-born and raised mother introduced me to them, and this is her recipe for leek soup. There, the leeks are chopped. Now I'm going to saute these on the stovetop. In a large pot over medium heat, melt 4 tablespoons or 57 grams of butter. Then add the chopped leeks plus 1 tablespoon of salt and grinds of black pepper. Stir the leeks to coat them with the butter. Then cover the pot, lower the heat, and let the leeks sweat until they are perfectly tender, about 10 minutes. We need 2 medium-sized potatoes. These are potatoes from my garden. And I'm going to peel them and just roughly chop them. If you don't have a Y peeler, get one. So much easier to use than those little narrow potato peelers. I can link this in the description if you're interested. And I love this recipe so much that I included it in my 2017 cookbook. To give the soup a velvety texture, I always add 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch that I blend with just enough cold water to make a smooth slurry. Back to the stovetop. Our leeks are nice and tender. My dog is barking at a raccoon in the backyard. So now I'm going to add 6 cups of water. And I'm going to bring this to a boil very rapidly. When the water boils, add the cornstarch mixture and stir until the water thickens, about 30 seconds. Then add the potatoes, partially cover the pot, and let simmer until tender, 20 to 30 minutes. My oven timer just went off, which means our cake is ready. I'm going to let this cake cool in the pan for 10 to 15 minutes, and then we can unmold it. Cake has cooled a bit, so let's unmold it. Yay, I heard it release. Ta-da! Oh, there's still steam coming off of it. Very fragrant steam. I think this is a beautiful cake. Now, tomorrow when this cake is completely cooled, I will dust it with confectioner's sugar. Or I might glaze it. And I think our soup is ready to blend. I am pureeing the soup in my Vitamix blender. Looks beautiful. Now I'm going to very quickly rinse out my soup pot so that I can return the pureed roux back to the pot. I'm going to give this soup a little taste just to make sure it doesn't need extra salt or pepper. Oh, it's perfect. Well, the dessert is done. The first course is done, and I'm going to let this soup come to room temperature, and then I will cover the pot and pop it into the refrigerator. You can make this soup 2, 3, or even 4 days ahead of time. And that's all of the cooking we need to do for today. When we come back tomorrow, we will make the main course and the third course palate cleanser. And if you hear any little mews, that's my kitten Goldie. Sweet dreams, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. We have 2 more courses to fix today, but before we do that, I first want to find some decorations for the dining table. So let's head to the farm store.
It's the same old story being told inside my head. I'm too shy to straighten up my bones and be a man.
I love how the landscape changes with the seasons. And I hope that you enjoy the view on this drive as much as I do. We are here. Let's go shopping. Last year at this time, I decorated my dining table with colorful gourds. This year, I will use miniature pumpkins and carnival squash. The arrangement is far less expensive than cut flowers, and it will probably last through Christmas. Next stop is American Pie in Chatham, New York. I am looking for candles that will coordinate with my 1930s Minton china. I think these aqua candles will work out very nicely. After I trim the candle wicks, I soften the base of the candles with a lighter. This way, the candles will fit snugly in my glass holders. I think this arrangement could use some colorful autumn leaves. Fortunately, I have plenty of them right in my yard. We obtained this Minton china from an antique dealer many years ago. The pattern is called Ardmore. On to the main course. I'm just tying my apron here. I'm serving braised cube steaks. This dish was super popular in the 1930s because it was just about one of the most economical dishes you could make. When the steaks are braised, they become super tender. And you want to salt and pepper the steaks. Dredge the steaks in flour. Flour will give the steaks a wonderful crust. I'm going to cook carrots and onions right along with the steaks. This way, the main course and its side dish will all cook together. And I need to wash my hands. You know, this dish looks really great with baby red potatoes, which can cook along with the steaks. But since I already used potato in the first course soup, I didn't want to repeat an ingredient. Maybe I'll end up adding baby red potatoes anyway. I'm going to slice the carrots rather thickly. Next, 2 or 3 onions. And I'm slicing the onions into half moons. Let's head over to the cooktop. I'm going to first brown the meat, and then I will finish the meat and the vegetables in the oven. And I forgot to tell you, preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. So I have my skillet or my braising pan over medium heat. I'm going to add 2 glugs of avocado oil. You could use the oil of your choice here, as long as it has a high smoke point. Add the steak. And you might have to do this in batches. If your oven-proof skillet is smaller than mine, I'm going to have to do mine in batches as well. Oh, perfect. These brown very quickly. You really only need about a minute on each side. And this, honestly, is enough for 4 servings, but I have a couple more I'm going to add. Now I am adding the other steaks back to the pan. Then add 1 3/4 cups of water, which is roughly 420 mils. And a good 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. And then use a flat spatula to scrape up any of the stuck-on bits at the bottom of the pan. Those bits are loaded with flavor. And we're going to turn off the heat. Add the carrots, the onion. And I've decided, since I have potatoes from my garden, I'm going to go ahead and use them. Even though the rule of thumb is what I said earlier, but again, since I already have these potatoes from the garden and I don't want them to go to waste, I am going to use them today. And then pop this into the preheated oven until the steaks and the vegetables are perfectly tender. That's going to take 1 hour. While we are waiting for the main course to cook, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the apple salad, and then we're going to light a fire in the dining room. Onto the apple salad palate cleanser. Now, this is about the easiest thing in the world to make. When you're preparing a salad as a palate cleanser, you really don't want it to be too involved. I am merely using apple slices. This is a Gala apple from my local orchard. And then to stop the apples from oxidizing, I'm going to toss them in some store-bought raspberry vinaigrette. And the raspberry and apple flavor is something else, I can tell you. One of my little tricks when hosting a dinner party is to have the salad palate cleanser already plated and in the refrigerator. Of course, you can absolutely put this on a platter and put it in the refrigerator and let guests serve themselves. So I have some arugula leaves here. And again, you don't want a big giant salad. This is only a palate cleanser. And then add some apple wedges. And you have your palate cleanser. I am slicing the baguette that will accompany the soup course. Here's the pumpkin bundt cake that we made yesterday. And let me tell you, I had to summon all of my willpower not to cut into this last night. Now, all we have to do is dust the top with confectioner's sugar. Clothes change because I want to talk to you about the game plan for this dinner party, the way I would do it anyway. About 30 minutes before your guests arrive, put the already made leek and potato soup on the stove top and just put it on the lowest flame. Then go enjoy a cocktail with your guests. When you are ready to dine, serve the soup course. I like to plate the soup in the kitchen where I can garnish each serving with a swirl of heavy cream. When the soup course is finished, clear the soup bowls or cups. Then fetch the braised cube steak dinner that you have kept warm in the low oven and arrange the meat and vegetables on a platter. Pass the platter so that guests can serve themselves. Be sure to clean up any little dribbles on the platter. Presentation counts. Don't tell anyone, but I have to have a little taste. This cube steak is so incredibly tender, you will not believe it. I forgot to tell you, I'm going to either link or write out these recipes in the description below this video. Clear the dinner plates and then bring the apple salad to table. Finally, clear the salad plates and serve the pumpkin bundt cake dessert. I like to slice the cake right at the table. Well, I've tried all of the other dishes from this dinner. I might as well try the pumpkin bundt cake dessert. This cake is so moist and fragrant. I hope you will give it a try someday. In fact, I hope you will try all of the dishes from this dinner. As you've just seen, they are super easy to do, and all of them are inexpensive to make. If you'd like to see more make-ahead dinners from me, be sure to post a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please sure to click the like button. I can post a couple of other videos, either up here or up here, that you can watch between now and my next upload, which I think will be on Sunday. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.